Welcome to another episode of BOI Weekly on Channels Television. This episode, we continue in our story of BUDFOW. That's the Business Development Fund for Women, which is a fund, 90 million naira, which was given to the Bank of Industry in 2006 by the Federal Ministry of Women Affairs for short-term loan, capacity building, but a full concentration on women. And before now, we had brought to you some of the projects that had been sponsored through this fund. Already, 165 million naira has been spent, from the 90 million naira. That means that some people who borrowed the money have returned it, and other people have enjoyed from it. A very good one. People would say that women are good managers of money. Good people to give loans to. Well, on this episode, we'll continue. We'll bring you some of the other people who have enjoyed from BUDFOW through the Bank of Industry. The first story we'll bring you is in Lagos. Mazino Fashions, a young lady, had a dream. She went to school to study sciences, but her passion has always been in fashion. And we thank God that finally she has found her way to fashions, Mazino Fashions in Lagos, a beneficiary of BUDFOW through the Bank of Industry. The premises of Mazino Fashions at Shop 70 of number 12 King George Road on Lagos Island. The shop is a working site turning ordinary-looking clothing materials to fashion statements worn mostly by ladies interested in corporate and corporate casuals, but also men who love to look corporate and smart. The visionary of Mazino Fashion, Ewo Mazino Ekwani, is a first-class graduate of biochemistry from the University of Lagos, but always loved sewing.
Even in school, I started designing shoes. I used to make shoes in school. I stumbled upon it though, but that was like my entrance into the fashion world, and the love has grown in leaps and bounds since then. After school, I worked, but even then I realized that I love to do this thing, because by default you're designing for your tailors and stuff like that. Say, do it like that. So I'm like, you know what, let me just birth a business from this passion I have, from this talent I have. So I went to Nobel Afrique to study dressmaking, professional dressmaking and pattern drafting. So I've done both the foundation, intermediate and advanced patterning. We set this shop a while ago, but we'll get better.
Ewo Mazino approaches her work professionally and creatively. She begins by making sketches to suit the request of each client and the occasion the cloth will be used for. Another talent she proudly flaunts. In creating custom products, Mazino has discovered a market which had before now been ignored.
You might say a lot of people like to go abroad, but not everybody gets their sizes abroad. So there's a huge market for that. So that's what we're tapping into. We have different shapes and sizes. So these people might see something online, might love something online, love the finishing online, but they can't get it. Because either they don't see their size, or see a color that suits them, or see a length that suits them. So that is what we're here to do. It doesn't matter, we're not going to be called as all copycats, because we have our own original designs, but we'll try to make everybody beautiful. Our slogan is be beautiful. We're passionate about it. Every woman should be beautiful. We have different shapes. We have him. In fact, you can't imagine the shapes we have seen in Mazino Fashions, trust me. And the testimonies we have gotten, maybe a lady that never sees her size or sees something that makes her beautiful. So what we want to do is give me a better alternative to the ready-mades.
After creating the designs, our employees have a large role to play in bringing the designs to life.
We pay attention to this, our finishing. My tailors are undergo a series of trainings. And training not just on the job training, say you must learn how to sew. I think we do a lot of personality training as well, customer service. Because when you appreciate the customer and appreciate that customer's patronage, I appreciate the fact that this customer works hard for this money. I also appreciate the fact that for the customer to make that decision to patronize a tailor-made cloth. I call it couture, you could call it any other thing, but we're tailors, man, we're so clothes, In Nigeria, we call us Tailor Laurent, things like that. It's a lot of work. So once you got that customer able to make a dress, you need to put your best foot forward. So I make sure my guys understand that. We're a family here, we're a team here. In as much as we of every business, you need to get volumes and all that. I try to downplay on that to ensure that they take their time to finish what they must. And when the tailor comes in afresh, it goes through a lot of orientation. Let me see how straight your lines are. Understand the concept. It's not to finish a dress, to finish it well. That it goes back and comes back with money. It's the money that should follow, not rework, which we can have sometimes, But we do a lot of training, ensuring they understand the whys. Because sometimes they come from a background such that they can just sew anything, maybe they sew the clothes.
Success is best shown in expansion. A few buildings away from where Mazino started, they now have an extension, and it's not difficult to fill this space too. It's already a necessity and not a luxury, especially because she intends to go back to her first love after being firmly grounded in her clothing line.
I'll still go back to shoemaking. That's what they were expanded. We have a second shop now. So part of it is going to be dedicated to shoemaking. What I used to do then, I used to design, get the materials from Mushin. I had like 2 shoemakers that would interpret these designs, and I sell, I market, I collect the money, But what I want to do now is to do it professional, like I say. Other than doing that, now I want to bring it home to my shop, let me be in control. Because obviously in that, I was a student, so there was not so much at stake, small here, small there. But now I want to do it properly, do shoes properly. So I'm going to go for a training in shoemaking first and foremost, because I've learned the hard way too, that whatever you do, you should at least have a knowledge about it. You must be knowledgeable about your business. So in as much I have the designing skill, we're in Nigeria of today, where we know that we'll obviously have some knowledge gap. So I, as the owner of my business, I need to equip myself so that even when those lapses do occur, I'm able to bridge that gap and be in charge of my operations.
Mrs. Ekwan is another grateful beneficiary of the Business Development Fund for Women, BUDFOW.
So we tried it at the initial stage, getting short-term funds. And manufacturing in Nigeria, I don't need such funds, because even before you have utilized the money, you're paying back. Why are you paying back? As if you are paying back their money. So I said, you know what? I just, like a dream. I didn't even know it existed. I said, home truth. I was just talking, I need funds that if I can even get a moratorium to even stabilize, to even at least get the machine. When you get a new tailor, it takes about 2 months for that tailor really becomes productive. So the running costs, all the mistakes the person will make, all of that will come from your pocket at a point until definitely maybe from the 3rd month it begins to give you back, get ROI on that investment in the tailor. So I tell him all of this, and I say, you know what, BODFOW is for you. And it's going to be Lagos office, we got talking, and well, the rest is history. A long process, though. It's a long process. But to be sincere, the process also helped me. I must give it to them. They're very thorough. Very, very thorough. The way I did that business plan, ask questions. But guess what? In the process of answering those questions, truthfully, I also rediscovered myself. I understood my business better. I learned to put pen to paper better, because this one you are defending is to get these funds that you really need. So the process, to be fair to them, was Herculean, I must say, but it was a good process for me. I learned, I grew from it. When the money came, you will appreciate that money and you put it to good use.
Yet another beneficiary of BODFOW is Asha Palatables in Okota, still in Lagos. They can do your outdoor catering for you for your events of all levels. But what they are focusing on most is making of bread, one of the staple foods of Nigerians. Even from outside the building of Asha Palatables, which is located at number 9 Ogunfowokan Street in Okota, Lagos, it's obvious that there's an ongoing production. The nature of work is revealed on entering the bakery. Flour, butter, and other bread ingredients are spread everywhere. This is the line of work which Mrs. Ngozi Egesi-Okpara has chosen based on our earlier contact with a similar organization.
After graduation, looking for a job for several years and not finding any, I now decided to venture into something I've once practiced. And that was how I delved into this profession.
So where and when did you practice it before?
When I was in the university, each time we have any holiday, I'm always in a bakery. I'm always attached to a particular bakery, Best Man Confectionaries. I always go there because I have this kind of flair for all these things. So most times I go there to really learn.
The ingredients spread everywhere. After some time, find their way to the spiral mixer, the major source of the grinding sound. Mixing ended, cutting and shaping of the dough is next. Although Asha Palatable prefers manual sizing, the use of a scale is regarded as extremely important.
When you mold with your hands and when you use that machine, I've noticed it. The one that you mold with your hands comes out well. But you know, because of the stress of that molding manually, that's why we have to okay, let's use machines so that for high productivity. But you see, all this local way of doing things, when you do it, it comes out that there's a retest that it comes out with.
And then the dough is set aside for proving. While waiting for it to attain the required size, the fire is prepared. In this case, it's a firewood oven.
It's cheaper, considering the cost of fuelage, as in dieseling and stuff like that. But this thing is a dual oven. It's burner, and the burner makes use of is the diesel that powers the burner. So you know the cost of diesel is too high, so we have to go to at least the firewood, which is cheaper.
The oven is heated and then the dough is moved in. Although they produce regular bread, Asha has created a niche for itself in the midst of competition.
We've come to this particular round bread, this round cake bread. We've come to stay in this particular, because most bakeries, they run away from this particular round bread because it's a kind of strenuous thing. The time you used to do this round bread, you used it to do more than, maybe for one bag, or you used to do up to 5 bags of slice. But you see, because this has always been my trademark, I've been into it, and thank God, even in this particular area, as if I'm leading in this particular area when it comes to this round bread.
In operation for 3 years and counting, Asha Palatable says there's fluctuation in the bread market, but business is good and shows signs of getting even better, especially with the new innovations and patterns in the market.